Today Bundy is going to show you how to do a rear brake job on a Toyota Camry. In the link or in the description below, I'll put all the vehicles that this covers. But right there, I'm taking off the wheel. You need a 21mm socket on a half-inch ratchet. I have a Milwaukee gun right there. Right there, you need a 14mm wrench to get off the caliper slide pin bolts. Take those two bolts out, and I'll let you get the caliper off. I just place the wrench on there and smack it up with my hand, so not very hard to get it off at all. Just showing you the two bolts. Pull the caliper off and out, pulling out the pins, the caliper slide pins. You got to clean those up, put new grease onto them so that they slide in nice and easy. And the caliper slide pin grease that I like to use is Permatex. I'll put a link in the description below, but it's Permatex Silicone Ceramic Extreme Brake Parts Lubricant. I found that to work the best on all the caliper slide pins that I use or deal with. Took the brake pads off, and you can see that one is worn more than the other. The cause of that is a stuck caliper slide pin, so the caliper is not moving a whole lot, or it's not moving the way it should. That is why you always want to take the caliper slide pins out and clean them up and re-grease them when you put new brake pads in. There are the new Bosch brake pads. The brake pads I use are Bosch Quiet Cast Ceramics. I'll put a link in the description below to Amazon where you can pick those up. Right there, those are the caliper slide pins, so I'm just cleaning it up, getting all the grease off with brake cleaner. And then you'll also want to, that's just me, but the head of the bolt is a little bit dirty, so I took it to a wire brush and clean it up that way, clean them both up. I just like to have everything nice and clean and pristine before I put everything back together. So you'll see that getting the bolt cleaned up right there. Now I'm taking the brake parts cleaner and just clean up the hardware where the brake pads slide onto. There's front, back, top, and bottom. You just take brake cleaner and spray that down where the old caliper slide grease used to be. The grease that you use on your caliper slide pins is the same grease that you're going to use here. So you can use the Permatex on the points where the brake pads touch. It's an orange color. Love that stuff. I've had very good success with that Permatex right there. So I just go to the top, the bottom, on the back side, do the bottom and the top as well, and then install your new brake pads. Then you're going to have to get a C-clamp, push back the piston inside the caliper because you're not going to have enough room. Obviously with the brake pad having more meat on it, having more friction material on it, it's going to make it a little bit wider. So you got to push the caliper piston back in so that you can get the caliper back onto the mounting points. So just loading up the caliper slide pins right there. Push that sucker in, make sure that's free, that moves back and forth. Twist it. Make sure that the boot, that air is not trapped in there, and if it is, just pinch the boot a little bit, give a little bit of air in there so that the air escapes and that it seats nice and snug inside the boot. Now let's see, I think the next thing I do will be the piston inside the caliper. But just take your time pushing that back. You need an old brake pad when you push the caliper back. After you do this, check your reservoir, your brake fluid reservoir, to make sure that the level is correct. And then before you drive your vehicle anywhere, make sure you press your brake pedal 10 times, car off. Make sure you press it 10 times so that the caliper comes back out and makes contact with the new brake pads. So just line everything back up, bring in the bolts back into place. There probably is a torque spec for these. I don't torque them down to anything. I just do it until they're nice and snug with my 14mm wrench, and then you should be good to go. Like I said earlier, make sure you press your brake pedal 10 times with the vehicle off before you go anywhere, or you're going to start your car, you're going to go down the road, and you're going to panic for a second because you're not going to have any brakes. So this job is very easy, very, very easy to do. If you can, please subscribe to Bundy's Garage on YouTube. Questions, comments, concerns, you can reach out to me at bundysgarage@gmail.com. And like always, I'll keep them rolling for you.